Hello YouTube, this is Insane Monster and we're here for part 2 of what if Asta was the son of Dante's son. So yeah, this is the second part to make a actual playlist for this what if that was picked by the winner of the what if lotto. Now that that's taken care of, if you haven't seen part 1, I suggest you watch it now. With that all said, hit it. Now then, when we last left, Asta and now Salem are heading over to the capital. On their way there, Yuno and Asta discuss about the devil triggers discuss about the devil triggers as well as the devil arms. As stated that they should probably keep those devil triggers hidden. If the capital finds out what exactly your heritage is, it might become problematic. As kind of gestures at the neck, think as Asa kind of gets it, and he doesn't want to be executed for his heritage. So he understands, and Salem also agrees. Next was the thing about the double arms, as they discussed them, and wondering why some of them are just unable to be accessed. Asta thinks for a moment and states maybe since they're just in the grimoires and maybe they act like some kind of spell that we get normally. I mean, the grimoires end up getting new spells over time from different things, especially in combat situations, right? So maybe we need like to be in a combat or a fight that is stressful enough to unlock them, or at least something that could be dangerous enough to unlock one of them. As thinks and states that might actually be accurate. These things, these double arms, right? They've been infused with our powers of the grimoire. So maybe they react differently inside of our grimoires than what they normally do. Gesturing towards Salem and the fact that her grimoire is just more or less a forgery, so she can just summon the double arms like normal. As he states, probably. The act of your grimoires interfering with the devil arms most likely has them acting differently. As Asta asked about Red Queen, states that it does work with his wind magic, and the handle has a movable part that seems to charge up magic for stronger attacks. This is the Red Queen's ability to rev up like a actual motorcycle. So yeah, as they do decide to try to do what they can to keep the devil heritage things out of the open until they could figure out something. Though also mentioned that they should be careful about which squad they pick, considering. As Salem states, yeah, from what I can tell, royals and nobility would definitely be gunning for us if they knew, especially some more problematic ones. Once they get there, they get registered. As Yuna goes first, then Asta, and finally Salem, whose illusionary and falsified grimoire was good enough to pass muster, allowing her entry. As they walk in, Yuno is just not having any anti-birds around him. Asta and Salem, however, are covered in them. And Salem using some demon sorcery to blow them away, though Nero's still on top of Asta's head. Salem is somewhat learned how to be a type of demon sorceress, having at least two abilities: telekinesis and pyrokinesis. Since we've seen Dante have things like a shadow, like a literal clone made out of his shadow, as well as the ability to shortly stop time. As for Asta, he doesn't have those abilities quite yet. As the exam begins, with the captains walking in and Captain Bongens giving his speech as usual, giving everyone a broom. As Yuno does the same as in canon, Salem uses her telekinesis as a way to falsify the broom writing. As for Asta, he doesn't have stuff like that, so he throws the broom aside and just creates his red energy wings from his double trigger. This being possible since his cousin Nero, as in from Devil May Cry Nero, is capable of doing the same thing without fully changing into his double trigger, as Asta flies up with these wings, surprising a number of people. Afterwards, we get to the marksmanship test. Yuno does the same, as Salem does do well with her pyrokinesis, though Asta can't use his grimoire, meaning he can't do anything, as he just sighs. Next is creation, which also just makes his wings again for this, figuring that it might pass, which it kind of does, so yeah. Once this happens, we are now at the portion for the uh, battles part of the Magic Knight exam. With this, Yuno steps in with the battle with the Lightning Mage, though this time he wanted to try out the double trigger he has access to see how it compares to other spells, as he pulls it out, revealing Red Queen, although the red parts are substituted with green and with a tinge of red, with the silver parts of the sword having a slight kind of glow to them, similar to the glow that the Yuno has with his magic typically, but more or less just a shining part of it, not actually glowing. So, as the battle begins, the Lightning Maid's noble fires off a large ball of lightning as Yuno revs up the sword, charging it with magic, and with a single slice cuts it in half, dispelling it and causing a shockwave to send the noble flying straight to the wall, knocking him out. As Yuno is decided the winner, with some slicing damage done to the walls. As he puts Red Queen back into his grimoire, he thinks that was actually more powerful than I thought. Hmm. I wonder what the other ones I have access to are. As next we have Asta. Differently from in canon, due to him being better at some of the parts of the exam, he gets a different opponent. A iron magic user with a bit of a favoritism for making golems out of his iron magic. As the battle begins, He creates a number of golems as well as sends out some iron spikes. Asta, replying to this, pulls out the demon slayer sword to blast back the spikes that he fired at Asta, reflecting them. He did this by accident since he was training more with the devil arms than with this sword. But this did not hit the Iron Mage. Instead, one of the golems he made got in the way to block the attack, at the cost of destroying one of the golems. With the others coming in for the attack, Asta tore up a number of them with the Devil Slayer sword, as he puts it back into the grimoire and pulls out, as you may would like to see, the Cavalier Devil Arm, the bike, as he separates it into the dual giant saw blades and uses it to completely tear through all of his golems. Using one of these saw blades to go into the ground and blitz straight towards the mage, he jumps into the air with the devil arm going back into his grimoire as he pulls out the rebellion and stopping right next to the mage's neck, causing such fear that the mage actually passes out, as Asa just smirks, with a number of the captains interested in his magic and how unusual it seems, especially Yami, who liked those giant saw blade things that turn into some kind of ride. He thinks this kid is pretty interesting. Next would be Salem. She sported about average skill level for this. So yeah, she ended up fighting Seke in this. As the fight begins and he makes his Seke cannonball thing, that Captain Yami states that he looks like a pill bug, she finds it as somewhat of a problematic spell for him, as she uses her pyrokinesis to put flames into the cannonball and block off the openings with flames, burning up all of his oxygen until he finally passes out and the spell collapses. This happened due to there not being enough oxygen in the space of his magic cannonball, and also due to the fact that with her blocking the openings with her flames, there was no way for any fresh air to come in so that he could breathe. So, yeah, he's passed out. As it's stated that Salem has won, we continue over to the selection for the Magic Knight Squad. Yuno obviously goes with the Golden Dawn, as now it's Asta's turn, revealing that he only got 3 picks of the lot, being the praying mantises, the aquadeers, and the black bulls. As he looks over at Yami, he has kind of a feeling of something familiar, of being pretty strong, both in will and body. He likes that, so he goes with the black bulls. Jack isn't happy and Rill's sighing, but Yami's laughing as he's just amused by this, that this kid just went straight to the black bulls without hesitation. As Salem then goes, he ends up with the hand raised for the black bulls, the coral peacocks, and the blue rose knights, as he also picks the black bulls, with Charlotte being confused by this, wondering why didn't she choose the blue rose knights? It's an entire female knight squad. as Yami is just smirking, thinking that, man, we're getting a good batch this time around. Afterwards, Asta and Salem meet up to say goodbye to Yuno and wish him good luck, as Yuno also wishes Asta good luck in their competition to see who becomes the Wizard King. As Asta states, well, it's definitely gonna be me, with Yuno just saying, dream on. As Asta and Salem get to Yami, he tells them to go into the portal, with Beryl asking them to hurry. As they go in, they see the hideout, and Salem mentions this place looks oddly structured, considering it looks like a jumbled up mess of different types of buildings just stacked on top of each other. Yami laughs, stating, yeah, not quite what you would expect, huh? But place has its uses. As they go in, they're just see a bunch of crazy people, and two individuals fighting. As their fight causes a fireball to head straight for them, Salem blasts her own fireball using her pyrokinesis to destroy it. As Yami breaks down the wall, telling them to shut up, as they all welcome Yami back and sit down. With this, Yami introduces Asta and Salem, as they are introduced to the rest of the Black Bulls, with Charmy and Vanessa grabbing on to Salem, stating that it's good to have another girl in the squad, with Vanessa being drunk and just Charmy putting some food into Salem's mouth. As Asta is then walked up to by Magna, stating that he has to earn his Black Bull's robe. Pointing towards Salem, he states, and that goes for you too, as the baptism is explained. Though Yami states that luck will take over for uh, Salem's baptism, with some of the squad members being worried, as Yami smirks, stating, don't worry, this one can handle her own. As Magna's test goes similar to in canon, but way easier. He was already incredibly strong in canon, more so being a quarter devil, and even more so with his full devil blood powers activated from getting stabbed for the chest with the rebellion. As we now get to the part where Magna fights him, he easily dodges Magna's first assault of flames, as he then goes for a large fireball. Similar to in canon, he sends it back at him. As Asta is worried about him being charred up by his own magic, Magna comes out looking and sounding a bit angry, as Asta's worried about uh, getting in trouble with his squad mates on the first day, with Magna running up to him, putting his hands on his shoulders, stating that he's awesome, stating that he has some really impressive magic, as Asta scratches his head, stating, yeah, well, I don't have any magic, actually, which impresses Magna even more. Though Luck this time asks, if you don't have magic, then what is it? As Asta states, it's actually anti-magic, which does impress them. So yeah, next would be Salem, as he goes up against Luck. She brings out her fencing sword, which is the devil arm she got from her mom, named the devil sword Sylph, as the fight begins, using her pyrokinesis with it to fight Luck and avoid his as his attacks as best as she can. She is able to be faster and stronger physically, even with Lux boosting himself a bit, but not as much in the speed category. She's at least able to bridge the gap a bit. But seeing how Luck attacks somewhat Pharaoh like, she's able to predict somewhat of how he might attack. And as Luck lunges forward to attack, Salem puts her sword swiftly in the way as he stops right before he gets stabbed in the neck. As Luck smirked, thinking, "This is fun," Yami stops them as he states, "If this continues, Luck is just gonna keep going until one of you gets yourselves killed." As they're both given their magic night robes and the others are celebrating. As we zoom back, we reveal a girl with silver hair looking down on them. Afterwards, we get to the part where Magna shows them where their room is. As Magna shows Asta, Vanessa and Charmy show where Salem will stay. As they show the magic traps that are all set up to activate if the boys ever come into the girls' portion of the hideout. As she sees a silvered haired girl with purple eyes walk into her room. She asked who that was, as Charmy states it's another new member, and just gets shown into her room and such. As Asta lays in his bed going to sleep, as he dreams he meets with Liebe again, stating, "Huh, had to hold yourself back a little bit, huh?" As Asta states, "It's fine. If we get into any real trouble, we'll be ready." So hey, what are the other devil arms that I have access to? As Libe just shrugs his shoulder in the dream state, stating, "Not sure. From what I can tell, they just seem to be in some kind of spherical form of anti-magic. So I'm guessing my power is just covering them up. I'm not sure how my anti-magic is working with weapons crafted from the body parts and even the souls of devils. No clue how this even works, so I can't say for certain. But if it works like last time, if you get yourself in a really good fight, then another devil arm will most likely be unlocked, though no telling which one it will be or what it will do when in terms of being influenced by my anti-magic." As Asta sighs, remarking, "That's fair. Though I would prefer to know which ones I ended up with. I wonder which ones Yuno has." Libe states he only has two that are locked from his access, and he already has Red Queen, so he should be fine. Magic wise, he's far superior to you. As Asta states, "Oh, come on, that goes for you too." Libe chuckles, stating, "Yes, but I have anti-magic." And Asta's just getting kind of annoyed at his foster brother, sighing, remarking, "Whatever, let's just get some rest." With Libe sighing. As the next morning comes, and Asta walks out of his room only to find a pillar in front of his door. And Salem also noticed that her room is in a different position than before with the building structure. As Asta is met by Magna, and he tells him that they should go pick up Salem to give you both a tour. Once they meet up with Salem, she does ask about what's up with this building, with Magna stating that the entire hideout tends to sift around, with Salem stating, huh, I suppose if the layout of the hideout changes each day, then it would mean that it is pretty secure as a base, huh? With Magna boasting, yep, that's what makes the Black Bull's hideout so special. As he shows them around and to all the place, the library, the uh the beast cage where Yami keeps his magical beast he takes care of, the bathroom, etc. and such. As they do run into Noelle, who, uh, well, conversation with them does tend to be similar to in canon this time. So, yeah, as he goes the fire water magic at Asta, Salem gets a little annoyed, but then it turns and hits Magna, which confuses her. As he huffs, takes off her Black Bull's robe, saying that she's quitting. As they now do chores, cleaning the hideout, dusting, scrubbing, mopping, and all that. As they do the laundry, where Asta was taking care of the guys' laundry and Salem was taking care of the girls' laundry. As she thought, I guess being new members of a squad kinda sucks. Sighing, as she just sees Asta going at it full force without any hesitation, she smirks. After that, Salem goes and rests as Asta goes wandering around, finding Noelle and seeing that she's practicing. He steps on the stick, catching her attention as she begins to freak, expecting to be ridiculed for not being able to use magic. She then has her magic go out of control as Asta forms his wings to fly away. The other Black Bulls come out to see just this madness of water magic just going on a rampage as Asta flies down, telling them what happened. With, uh, sorry, with Yami looking at this and stating that Asta, go deal with that, causing Asta to pause for a bit, looking at it, but states, alright, using his wings and the Demon Slayer sword to fly up there. He slices the spear wide open and catches Noelle, flying down gently to put her down. As the Black Bulls run over, she expects to be ridiculed, but Asta encourages her, stating that that was amazing and that she's so freaking powerful and lucky to have that much magic. As he scratches his head with stating that, especially since I don't have magic myself. Salem runs up and hugs Asta, telling him that that was amazing. How you just dispersed all that crazy mana in one swing. With Asta blushing a little bit, stating, thanks. With the other Black Bulls giving the same compliment to Noelle as in canon, she begins to tear up a little bit as she's given her Black Bull's robe back, accepting her new squad. Now, with this, we'll end it on this part, and when we next meet for this What If series, it will be for the the part for starting at Saucy Village. Now then, with that stated, do hope you enjoyed this What If. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification bell. And also, as you may remember from the main lineup, the next two What If parts shall be for What If Deku was the son of Abel, SCP-076, and What If Asta was the son of Cain, SCP-073. With all that said, have a good day and hope to see you next time.